So thank you guys for showing up. Let me actually get my seeds in so I can show you the logo. Actually, okay. Right there.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, cool. Let's make sure. Okay, there we go. So the packaging is what got me at first. So I think I was introduced to the group on Facebook just by keep getting calls. By a random person. So I know someone in Chicago, they put me on a group, and then after that, I think I asked everybody in Arizona, is anybody growing in Arizona? And then anything I know about the Facebook groups, if you ask a question, that you'll get at least 50 answers, and you will find out if you ask that at work and then you get back on Facebook, you will find out literally everything that you need to know. But can you guys just introduce yourself and just tell us about your company, just a little bit about the company and what you guys do?
My name is Francesca, and my husband Robert. We live up here in the tundra of the Midwest, and we kind of got into this business about 2 years ago. Didn't really like the prices that other seed banks were charging.
Wow, right, yeah.
Like $30 a seed, $15 a seed is a little ridiculous. I seen actually someone post a couple days ago, $600 for, I think it was like, it wasn't many seeds.
And then you know what? And it's so many places, because here in Arizona, we just became fully recreational. So everybody's growing, but no one knows how to get the seeds. No one really knows the procedures and everything. And it's so, I don't know why it's so hard. And it's like you gotta go under the table, and like if you're in your city, you just gotta like sneak up and ask questions. But I'm like, but it's legal. And that's one thing I don't know, and maybe like a lot of other people don't know, what's the regulations and how you can and cannot do things depending on where you live. So how is it out there for you guys, and how you can distribute?
It is for medical. It is legal for medical, but everything else, it is illegal. So there's a lot of people that, of course, are limited income who need it for medical to grow their own. And we can't see spending or charging anyone outrageous amounts for a seed.
Exactly.
This is something that God gave and left on the earth for us.
Yes.
Why are people charging $30 a seed or $10 a seed? Unbelievable.
I will tell you this. So right before I met you guys, I'm not gonna say who it was, but I spent 200 and maybe just a little bit over $200 for maybe 3 types, 3 autos, and I got 3 per, whatever it was. But I still spent a lot of money at the end of the day. And I'm like, there has to be some type of way, because it seems as if when everybody asked on any type of page I've been on as far as dispensaries, they say it's hard to even get it, or they're not even carrying it. And then I find certain people that sells clones here in Arizona, and like everything that I'm getting, this is new to me. Everything off the page is new to me, and it's kind of the thing I love, and I'm glad that you guys have your page, is because if it wasn't for you guys, these people they won't feel happy about what they're doing, because they can't put most of this stuff on their regular page. And when you get on there, I get notifications, and I click on one, and I'm like, I was supposed to do that with my plan, or I was supposed to do this, because it's a learning experience. Because I'm already on my second grow, in the matter of 3 months, because my first one, I did not know how my nutrients were supposed to work. I burnt my plants out. And another thing, so I try to be, uh, I'm a tech type of guy. So I have a webcam in my tent. I went to Vegas. I started my new feeding, like actually started my first feed in the nutrients when I went out of town for 2 days. I came back. I thought visually that it was okay, but I came back and the leaves withered away. It didn't even turn brown or the tips, nothing happened. It just withered away. And I'm like, what happened? So that I just gave the plants away for free. And that's basically what happened. So as far as education wise, what can you give, just like any tips that you can give to growers that's new? Because everybody, I feel like, is new and it takes a process to grow, and I've learned patience is a virtue. So what kind of tips can you give for new growers?
I would say don't be afraid to test something. And with nutrients, less is always more.
I've learned that with the general hydroponics. I definitely learned that. Yeah.
These things they're designed to grow out and outside and in the weather with very little to no nutrients. So it takes quite a bit to kill them by not giving them enough, but it doesn't take much to kill them by giving too much.
Exactly.
Also, for like the newbies and new growers, there's YouTube videos. Mr. Canucks.
Yeah, I've listened to I first started out on him because there's a certain way you put the video together. He puts it together very well, and he seems knowledgeable.
And there's a couple others that I recommend is Seed to Stone. Was that you? Yeah. From Seed to Stone, Hemp in a Pot, and Weed in a Pot.
That's crazy. I follow all those people.
They give the best guidance, best information that I've been able to find.
It's another guy. I'm out here in Arizona. I think he said he was out in Arizona. Mr. Grow It.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of his stuff too.
As far as climate goes, because I'm gonna tell you what happened yesterday, and my maintenance guys might be knocking on my door. So yesterday, I have the smart Nest Google thermostat, right? I come home and it's telling me that the power wire is not hooked up, right? It's Arizona. I need my AC. Now my tent is running. I have a AC Infinity, and it's reading at 82 to 84 degrees just in that room. Because I tested the thermostat, I put it outside the tent and see how it was outside, and it was almost the same degree. So I'm like, I need my AC to kind of control it. But I've seen certain people grow outdoors out here. I don't know if it was in knee deep in the summertime when it's 120 degrees outside, but I know people do grow outside. But as far as the climate with you guys, how do you regulate everything?
We do it in the basement, so our biggest concern is not being warm enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets really cold up here.
Yeah, like you said, it snowed recently.
It is today. It is snowing now, and it's April 12th.
It's crazy. And I'm gonna let you guys know I'm from Chicago, and I know what it means to be in April and it be snowing. Your birthday comes around and you think you're gonna have a good birthday, and then you wake up and snowing. Just like, I don't know how to deal with it, but that's the main reason why I am in Arizona right now. Main reason.
But we have a very large area, 4,200 square foot of grow space.
Oh, that's good. So
we have how many tents?
Right now set up, I have 13 tents.
Yeah, because I did see you guys post something and you said you were expanding, and I seen the picture of the tents. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's like, 9.
How do you guys regulate that, and is it just you guys, or do you have any help
Right now it's just us. Occasionally the daughter and her husband will come over and help, but it's pretty much he takes care of the upstairs stuff. I take care of the downstairs.
Um, energy. I'll tell you this. I bought and this is only probably gonna be for my situation, but I have bought a solar power generator. Um, I think I'm gonna put a post on my YouTube to show how it works and how it's been working for me because I think I've had it for almost a month now, but I can charge it in less than an hour. I have one tent in my closet, and I have this a 2x4, and I have a 4x4x8 in an actual room, and I have both of them hooked up to that. It can power both of those for at least maybe 6 to 12 hours, depending on how much you're using your fan and depending on what time of the day you're using your light. So as far as you guys, and I only did that kind of cheating and just kind of like experimenting because I wanted to know how I can save on power. But as far as you guys, do you plan to spend a lot? Do you how do you go by that with energy?
For energy, I mean, it hasn't been too much. I mean, I got some decent lights. I'm not running the metal halide lights or because they require a lot more power draw. I'm using LED quantum boards. So I mean, I spent quite a bit on the lights.
Yeah. What would you recommend for somebody that's starting out that, you know, that's always because everybody in these days is kind of on the budget. You know, I wouldn't say kind of, everybody's on a budget nowadays, but what's a light that you can suggest on a budget, you know? 'Cause I have
Yeah,
a Vipar Spectra, but I went from a boom spec, and now this is all I'm buying everything on Amazon, but I had to send it back because I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna spend the money and a little bit more money because I felt that everybody was using a particular light, you know. So what do you recommend?
um, if you're on a budget, you'd want there's things that you can go cheap on, and lights I wouldn't suggest going cheap on. It's all 90% of the grow is what you can give them for the lights. Like I personally buy spider farmers, and I bought a lot of them. But for a
That's
cheaper
for
brand, I'd probably go with Mars.
Mars Hydro. Yeah, I was gonna get Mars Hydro because one of my homeboys has Mars Hydro. But then once I started searching, I found the Vipar Spectra because it just looked a little bit better. But it has these, I don't know what's on top of the it's an aluminum sheets that there's no heat at all.
Yeah,
And you can literally put your hand on top of it and it won't burn you. You know, that's
I
the
think
one
it's a
reason
little
why I bought
warm.
it. Yeah. Another reason why I bought that one, the Vipar Spectra, I think it's the P 1500. It has a dimmer on it, and I thought that was going to be a good thing, but it is because on the solar power panel it tells me how much wattage I'm using. So when I turn my light down, the wattages go down, so I use less power. So I've been trying to raise the light and see what I can do and turn the light up and see so I can just save all of my money because that's what everybody wants to do at the end of the day, but sometimes you can't cut those corners.
Yeah, the spider farmers recently added dimmers to every one of their lights.
You know what? And Spider Farmer is. I think I see that with me looking at YouTube a lot. Everybody kind of like transfers to getting a Spider Farmer light, even though it is a little bit pricey. You got to think about how you're treating those plants, because if you want to get the best out of those plants, you got to give them the best, you know, in a sense, you know, because at this point I might be buying another light right now because I upgraded to the 4x4 and I have the 1000 watt. Well, no, it's 150 watt, but it's only can section 4 plants, and when it's low, these plants on the side are going to be growing that way because the light isn't expanding all the way. So I'm like, Okay, let me save some more money. You know, so that's what I can tell certain people. Watch some videos, ask some questions, get on or try to get invited on a page on Facebook where everybody is giving out all the advice that you can possibly give. I got to give a shout out to you guys' page just for that.
One thing about our group is I'm in probably 100 some Facebook groups. And I see a lot of people who have a lot more years experience or whatnot bash the newbies.
Yeah.
And that really, really irritates me. And it just gets under my skin because they were a newbie once before. They had to learn and start from
Exactly.
somewhere.
They're just asking questions most of the time.
I mean, yeah, it may have been asked 1,000 times, but who wants to keep scrolling all the way down through all the comments and posts that there is? Because some groups have multiple posts a day. That's one thing about our group. I don't care if you're very knowledgeable or a newbie, ask questions. Somebody may have something that worked for them or it didn't. It is a safe place to ask questions because that's one thing I just will not tolerate. Being mean to another human being, bashing them because they're new or a newbie or a first time grower. I will not put up. We're all adults here.
Exactly.
So this is something that, it's a learning experience. It's a learning curve. I mean, I know for us, living soil is not a great thing to do because we will never do that again.
Yeah.
But, obviously that was a learning curve for us.
Fungus gnats are not fun to deal with.
Yeah, no matter what you do, you just can't get rid of those little buggers.
Right. Yeah. Do you guys have any tips on pests? Because I'm about to buy some ladybugs right after this call. And it's only because I got it good.
Spider mites or fungus gnats.
Fungus gnats, and I know it came because of the vegetables that I had in my house. Because I got them transferred from outside, and then once I upgraded the tent, I put the vegetables in that other tent. But they can get out of that tent if they really wanted to. And
Oh yeah,
it was a way, because sometimes I'll keep the tent open because just to air it out, because it's like, I'm sweating right now in my own house. But I forgot the AC. I forgot about that. But some things you have to learn to deal with. I looked at for outdoor growing, I looked at this video on YouTube, and the guy said for his crops, he said, I don't put anything on my vegetables because you can't kill them all. And at the end of the day, you trying to treat that, you're gonna take something away from those your crop. And it's not gonna be as organic as you want, because you're putting something else in there.
Yeah, fungus gnats, they have a really short lifespan. The best way to get rid of them is the bottom feature plants, because it's actually the larva that's sitting in the top of the soil in the first inch or so that recreates the fungus gnats. Ladybugs will eat those.
Mm-hmm.
But if you feed from the bottom and let the water wick up, then the top couple inches of soil will never be damp, so the larva will never hatch.
You know what? Earlier today on you guys' page, I seen someone, he put like playground sand on the top layer. I've heard of people putting I think it's straw or on top, putting sand. I see now. Do you guys
river rock?
river rock? Yeah. Do you have anything as far as because I actually got some right here. So I use this Dr. Bonner's soap. I don't know if it's kind of bright, but this is a peppermint. I use this in 100% neem oil and water, and that kind of like it kind of gets them away, but it's like you have to do it every so often to make sure. Do you guys use any solutions for pests?
No, as soon as we had that one pest issue, I mean, I stopped with the soil. I stopped with the living soil. I went straight back to cocoa core and the Dr. Earth or Down to Earth dry amendments. That's
Okay.
mixed in. Yeah,
Oh.
cocoa corn perlite. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I just started a grow with, well, most of them I had my own little mixed soil, but this is my first time doing cocoa core, and I think I'm going to just transfer straight to that because Canucks Grow on its site. I'm like, okay, after my general hydroponics fail, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go organic because I'm a chef. So I heard someone say that if you're gonna eat organic, you should grow organic. If you're gonna put that in your food, because it defeats the purpose of you having that organic food, and then you're not doing organic with that. So I've been using organic dry all purpose and just watering with pH water, because for me it's just it's just easier, and then my clone didn't die. So just, and this is just for me because everybody's going to learn what's for them, and it's all your environment and everything ties into how your plant's going to be. But for me, I'm trying that, trying to go all organic. Do you guys go all organic, or what type of stuff did you guys put in your plant for as far as nutrients?
Right now we're doing all organic. I mean, I've tried countless of liquid nutrient synthetics, and I find just the best to go with the organics, dry amendments, and just pH water, nothing else.
It's
It's
so
just so much
easy.
easier.
Because calculate, it's like there's nothing wrong with science, but most of us didn't pay attention and or hasn't been in a science class in a very long time. So it, because one of my homies, we have our own grow page on Facebook, and him yesterday he just started a deep water culture, and he was saying, asking like, what should I put in there, what should I put in this? And me personally, I told him, look at the back of that bottle, because they made that product based on how they know it works. So I was like, that's what I would do. And it's all an experiment at the end of the day, because just because somebody else said something doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I told him, like, maybe you should get some reverse osmosis water and then use tap water for half of it, and then see how your grow would be. Because I love experimenting from this, because cannabis has brought guys that I've known from maybe ever since I was a kid together. Now we're all talking together, and we're all in our 30s now, together. Have you guys encountered any good experiences about cannabis? Because a lot of people, my mom, this is a story that she probably might not look at this podcast, but have you guys encountered any good things about it?
I don't know. I mean, there's a gentleman that we work with. We kind of work with him. I'm an authorized vendor for him. He's given us some like little tips and tricks, and there's another gentleman that who we go back and forth and sell bean seeds with each other, and he's giving us a couple little tips and tricks, more so for seeds. But as for growing, now it's called Google.
Yeah.
It's got YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I hear something someone that says, I mean, I'm more than happy to test it, see how it works. I mean, I've like I said, I have shelves of nutrients downstairs, what I've been trying. And like you said, your friend's doing DW or deep water culture. Like, I can give you some advice right now. Check that pH more than once a day.
Oh yeah, that's I've seen someone say that when they top the water off, they did, and but he said this too. He said, "Don't do this," but he said he doesn't check the pH, and I'm like, with anything, everybody says something about pH, and it's like you have to. And do you do a lower pH for a deep water culture, or do you stay with? Because I've seen someone say like 5 point something for deep water culture.
When I tried it, because I tried it for just a couple of girls, and then I'm like, nah, I was just checking it too much, and always had a fluctuation of the pH, or I try to keep it between 5.5 and 5.8, just
Yeah.
somewhere in there. But I mean, I was swinging down the low 4s and then the upper 6s. It just depends on what the plant wants. If it wants more waters, then that pH is going to drop because it's not going to be taking the nutrients. But if it wants nutrients, then it's going to rise. And then when it wants nutrients, if it has a high pH, it's not going to take it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I gotta
cool.
tell you, just check it more than once a day because it can swing around pretty good.
That's cool. That's cool. How can anyone get in contact with you guys? I know that on Facebook, you have to be invited into those groups and anything. Is there any type of way you can be contacted?
We're hoping down the future, down the road, that we're gonna have a website. Everything obviously takes time, from the ground up.
Yep.
Get our name out there first and then about the name and then opening up a website. So I mean, it's taken off a lot faster than both of us thought.
Hmm.
Yeah, because we didn't start the Facebook group until
End of December,
end of December.
right before Christmas.
It's going really good. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
Oh.
expect it to be like it is now?
No.
I was hoping by this time maybe have 100 people in the group.
How many people do you have right now?
We have over, I think, almost 880.
Yeah, that's good.
It is, yeah, 879. So yeah, I mean, one morning I woke up and I had literally 30 some people waiting to get approved.
Wow.
And not just that, they were blowing my phone up,
Yeah,
like blowing it up.
I thought I was gonna have to wait at least a year before we had to expand, and I should have expanded before we even made the group.
Yeah.
Because it took off. Like right now, we're very limited on what we have for seeds, and
Yeah.
And plus they only grow so fast. So
yeah.
Exactly. How can you inspire somebody to start a new business? Because that's currently what I'm doing right now. And some of the inspiration, because it's hard and something might knock you down. But what's something advice you can give to people as far as starting a new business?
Don't give up. I mean, I've had 4 of my last 5 seed projects. Throw no pollen whatsoever. I had little pollen sacs. They weren't opening up. I broke them apart just to see if there's even pollen in there. Nothing. I mean, that's a major setback.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few little, I wouldn't say a setback, but we had a few negative things thrown our way.
Yeah, don't let what people say try to get you to stop, because there's always going to be negative people.
They want to pull you down. They don't want to see you succeed because they're trying to succeed. And that's pretty low. Somebody, they're trying to push you down.
Right. Yeah. That's
No,
crazy.
Just don't give up and just keep working at it.
I mean, and in this business, there is plenty of money for everyone to go around because there's so many seed banks,
Yeah.
people who are starting their own little seed business. I mean, I don't talk down on anybody else or any other seed banks or any other groups. Someone's going to start, and there's, like I said, I'm in some of these groups, and the way they talk to, the newbies, and then, I don't interact. I'll read what's going on. And I've noticed we've had quite a few people come to our group, and I always, make a statement, if you're new, ask questions, don't be afraid. We're not like that there. Because I mean, that might be somebody else who can teach us something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You'll learn something every hour on the group.
Well, I'm gonna go back to your first question. What got us started in this? Like, I was pretty quiet there. The first thing I seen when I was starting looking for seeds or whatever, because I didn't even know you can buy seeds online at the time. So I'm sitting there Googling. I'm like, oh yeah, they passed that hemp bill law. I mean, we can get seeds a lot easier now. But when I went across these websites, all I kept seeing was out of stock, out of stock. I mean, why are they putting if you want to order seeds and everything's out of stock on that site, like that just sucks. So I mean, I went through so many websites looking for seeds. I mean, I didn't know any of the popular websites to go. I just Google searched, and then I started seeing the prices, and I'm like, oh, $18 a seed. That's expensive.
Yeah. And then when you think about if you fail within the first day,
Yeah.
and then that's the $20 just like down the drain. Anything can happen, because this bad boy is just stretching is in my kitchen, and I kind of like left it there in a sense because I know it's not gonna get any taller than that and that. But I'm experimenting, and
That'll still get taller.
yeah, and I don't know what I want to put it transplanted in. I might put it in some cocoa, but I take trips to the hydroponic store often. I would say this because I've gotten so many discounts here. And just because of me talking, I talk a lot, so I see that if I go out in public and then trying to buy something, I keep talking to people, they're gonna give me a discount. but the thing is with that too, you'll learn so much from these hydroponic stores, because most of the guys at the one in Tempe where I go to, they look like straight stoners, and that's who I want to talk to, because no, exactly, because now I have shiitake mushrooms in my tent for my CO2. I would have never thought that I would have shiitake mushrooms growing. And mind you, I'm a chef. I like shiitake mushrooms, but I would have never known that I would have bought that. Do you guys have a lot of hydroponic stores or anything in the area for you to start up easy?
We have one in the area, but we've never went into it. I've gotten all my cocoa core because Walmart they had their last year special going on where you get those dehydrated bricks of cocoa core, which makes quite a bit, but they're on sale for like $1.89 a brick. So
We bought them out.
I bought every one of them. So
Yeah.
I have a wall in my garage filled with cocoa core bricks.
That's crazy. And how much those small bricks, I think it can, I put it in my 3-gallon bucket, and I think it filled up my 3-gallon bucket with that just one brick. And I'm like, this is amazing. If you can, that's the cheapest way to grow. And then if you can, because mine, I put my all-purpose perlite, that, and then I mixed a little bit of Ocean Farm in there. And then I had some just a little bit of the worm castings, and that's kind of like I mixed it. I'm just messing around with, but I got the Ocean Farm. I got the soil there way cheaper than Amazon. So you sometimes, I know COVID and everything, some people don't want to go out in public, but I'm getting that cheap soil.
You have a local store, by all means, buy locally. Like we have the one store here, but we didn't go to it because I never see anyone there.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if they only sell plants there or if they actually have grow equipment or stuff there, but
I would
we've never
encourage
went in.
people just stop by, because I was in California 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my fiance's her parents' house at the end of the block. I've been there numerous amount of times, but I never went right. And if I would have went right, there's a nursery right there. So I just went in there, just started talking to a guy. I got his number. He's gonna do a podcast with me, because he went to school for agriculture. I don't know exactly what they go to school for, but he was just dropping all this knowledge on me in a 20-minute conversation while I was buying strawberries, and we just started talking about cannabis. And the thing is, how open he was, and I'm in public, and it's like that. This would have been 5 years ago. It would have been like a hush hush type of thing,
I wish,
Go ahead.
that's why I'm hoping that, our state one day becomes legal, because it could really benefit, a lot of people here, especially medical wise, where they can grow their own,
Yeah,
because medical bills are not cheap.
they're not.
And I was speaking with a lady, she's in group, she's there in Arizona, and she's got esophageal cancer. And, this is pretty much her first time grow. And my heart goes out to her, because people like that who are on very limited income, she's got to be in her 50s or 60s trying to grow this for pain management. And it's just, it needs to be readily available every state. Everything should be
Every
legal,
state, yeah.
you know, because that's where one of my biggest concerns is, because, you know, as my mother-in-law, who's deceased now, she could have benefited from edibles. I mean,
Right.
she wouldn't smoke it, but, you know, when we did slip her an edible, um, it should be more readily available for people like that. And it's
It-
so looked down upon
Mhm.
through, I mean, especially kind of in our state in a way. But yeah, we made some edibles, and it definitely hit me like a wrecking ball.
It really helped my mom out.
But you know what? In those cases, it can, for the next person, they might need whatever you can't take. Another person might need that, you know. And in
Yeah.
some certain people, you can just start them out with CBD.
And watching her and seeing her go through that the year and a half, almost 2 years, it was horrible.
And it's one thing that's, I would say, in my generation, all of the people in my parents' age range, all of those people have kind of like some type of health issue. And yes, as the years go on, we get a little bit more knowledge, but that's why I'm trying to go all organic now. Being a chef, I'm trying to grow everything that I eat. Like behind me on my porch. So I live in an apartment, but I literally am growing between my house and my homeboy's house. We growing whatever we eat, we're gonna put it in the ground and we're gonna grow it. And with COVID going on, some certain people kind of have to grow their own things just so they won't have to go outside, because certain things like lettuce, you can buy some lettuce from the store, put the root of it in the ground and just cut off the edges of it and just keep growing over and over. It's just like those type of things we can do and we can learn. And with having these sites on Facebook, the grow pages, you can get all of the information that you can possibly want and need. Just for instance, like you're saying, somebody, their parents might be going through something. If you say that on that page, I bet right now somebody will have a situation that they can help you with. I really do appreciate both of you guys for the product, for the Facebook site, and for the education, because when you guys are sleeping, when you guys are doing whatever you're doing with your life, that page is still generating, generating positive feedback. No matter who's on there with the negative, I see that the positive outweighs the bad.
I mean, this has become pretty much my full-time job.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
When I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning until I go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, my phone is literally going off
Going on, yeah.
all the time. I try to answer questions the best of my ability. If my husband's home, I'll ask him and he'll take care of it. He'll take over the question. But I deal with like a lot of the page itself. We'll be making like a backup page. So it's gonna be called Flying Monkey Genetics. We had a guy make our logo for us. Awesome, beautiful. I can't wait to get it up.
Yeah,
So
I need to get some of that from you guys too.
So if anything happens, heaven forbid, happens to the Not My Monkey site on Facebook, everyone can go there and still conduct business. Still ask questions just like we're doing now. I just want to have it as like a backup page, because I've seen other people who've had Facebook groups lose their page because of something happening, lose all their customers. No one knows where to go or what to do.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try to work on that in the next few days. We're going to have some new autos coming out
Very soon.
very soon,
Yay.
within this week. So when we hit 1,000 group for 1,000 people, we're definitely gonna do some giveaways. I got a couple, neat ideas that people can win some stuff, maybe win some free seeds. So I want to make the group as fun as possible for people, because if it's not fun, you don't want to go back there. You don't want to interact. You don't want to. So I mean, some of the conversations I had with some of our clients, they were quite interesting when they put me in a group chat together with them.
Yeah.
But no, I want to have it as fun as possible, learning. We definitely want, I mean, I encourage people to have their friends come, even if they don't want to buy, they can, they don't even have to interact. They just want to read and learn that way. That is perfectly fine too.
Exactly.
I mean, I encourage anyone to join. I
Yeah, because
mean, I
when
would
you
love,
see the product and it's not in a magazine, and it's just this big name or this big dispensary who has it, is these are regular people.
right, and we may be coming to Phoenix actually in a few months. We got some things in the works that where our seeds may be, our genetics may be sold there
That's
locally
cool.
in
Yeah,
Phoenix, I'm
that's cool.
hoping. So when we do come, I will announce and I will bring product with me so
Yeah,
guys can save the $8 on shipping.
exactly. Because we need everything. And at first, I didn't even know where you got. I don't know how I got linked to you guys' page, and I didn't know where you guys were from. I thought you were in Arizona at first. So I'm like, where are they from? You know. And then when I see the packaging, I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, then I gotta talk to these guys. You know.
Well, some lady asked me she can come if I can deliver it to her in, I think it was Mesa area. I'm like, well, if you pay for my plane ticket, I will gladly fly there.
Right.
But
That's
it may
right
be
next to
cheaper if
me.
you spend the $8.
Exactly.
I didn't hear back from her, unfortunately.
She wanted to see the source.
But I mean, there's a I mean, I would love to show pictures and products, but one, I don't go down, that's his domain, not in the basis. I really don't take pictures. I can't post them in group because they'll shut us down. I mean, that's the only thing. I would love to do more. And hopefully when we have a website, we'll be able to do that then. We'll be able to put more, like videos up and pictures, but also because of our location with it being illegal. I mean, I gotta act like a great little grandma that bakes cookies at home and doesn't do things like this. So we try to keep it on a down. We live in a very small rural community. So we gotta definitely keep it on a hush hush level.
Yeah, and I will say, if obey the rules wherever you guys are at, and whatever you do, keep it for yourself. You know, do what you're supposed to do at the end of the day. I'm just so glad that they passed in Arizona but it seems like everybody they're growing like 50 plants at a time everywhere. Because even on YouTube, because I'll see people with different rooms, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, I'm about to start 6 more plants now. You know, but you know, right now I can't start any plants because I'm getting married. So what I'm growing now, it'll be done for my wedding. So I'm gonna have a really nice wedding in California.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
How many plants we have going down now? Or growing? 80?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm still working on number 40 right now. But it takes so many seeds just to get the one that 3 or 4 that are growing just right, so they can be possible seeds that we want to germinate.
Right. Yeah.
To make
And to make them stable too, as well.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna throw a couple seeds in and be like, okay, that's good enough. No, when I buy seeds, it's 50, 100 at a time of the same strain.
So I mean, we're hopefully the next few months we're going to have a lot more different strains available, and they're going to mainly be in auto.
Yeah, auto seems to be the best.
Yeah, that's what I have. I think I pretty much have all autos right now.
Yeah, I have people hitting me up for the autos. I mean, photos, we're going to have some photos. But we're just hoping that, you know, if people give us suggestions, we'll see if we can get those types of seeds. And I know one of the biggest hits is Blue Dream.
Yeah, I think my homie wanted that too, the Blue Dream. No,
Yeah,
actually, my homie, he's growing it right now in Chicago. Yeah.
Okay, that went quick. I mean, so we have.
That's one of the ones that's already started.
So we'll hopefully have that back in stock as well.
See, I'm a high THC type of person, so I'm only gonna want anything above 20%. Because I kind of like I've been doing my research on how much is in what, because I went to the dispensary out here, and I probably will never go back. For flour, I would probably only like buy abstracts or pen carts or whatever. But as far as flour goes, I think I got taxed almost $50 for three. I think I got three different types of flour. No, I got two different types of flour and 1 gram cart, and that was 200, a little bit over $200. Yeah.
Now, have you thought of cooking with cannabis?
Yes, I have. And that's gonna be in the new video. So right now I have my GoPro that went out earlier. So I got the strap that, if you, because I did vlogs. I just sold my motorcycle. I did a vlog for that. Right after that, I sold my motorcycle, but you can mount it literally everywhere. So I got the straps to go on my chest. So now I'm gonna be making videos so you can see me chop the food up, and then you don't have to like change cameras to do anything. You can just listen to my voice, and I'm going to instruct you all the way through. So when everything is nice and grown and I can approve of it, then I'll be putting all that in and trying to see what I can experiment. And I'll be showing everybody my experiments online. So cooking with
Awesome.
cannabis, that's like a whole new, that's a whole nother channel right there.
Oh, yeah.
I can,
Well, hopefully
yeah.
when we come to Phoenix in the next couple of months, we'll be able to, I would love to do a meet and greet with all my Arizona people.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because like I said, a big portion of our group is from Arizona.
That's crazy. You know what? It is hot.
I know.
That's always something you have to remember.
Like I
tell
used to live
everybody.
there like 24 years ago, 23 years. I used to
It's the
live there.
same. It's the same.
Oh, I heard it's grown a lot. But yeah, the heat. Yeah, I remember the heat being 122 degrees. I remember.
Yeah, and my job, my current job right now, I'm doing FedEx. Yeah, so that's not they pay well, but I have
UPS
to
is
cover
becoming a family member with us.
Yeah, because they you got the same people on the route, and they're like, oh, you got more stuff to ship out.
No, I think, when the FedEx, the UPS guy came and delivered those 9 tents, I bought him cookies and Gatorade.
You know what? That helps.
He delivers almost every day to the house. And I think the neighbors are going to start thinking I'm having an affair with the man. Because he's literally here every day. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. When those 9 tenths came that day, I opened the garage, and after he was done, I'm like, here, I got you cookies and Gatorade.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you don't have to do it. I'm like, listen, you come here and deliver so many heavy boxes. Now this.
Yeah.
I was like, that you're not underappreciated. Trust me. I look forward to my deliveries.
Exactly.
So yeah, because I'm always going through supplies like the Mylar bags and the vials, and in fact, I got stuff coming today and tomorrow, I think. So, but yeah, I can't wait to come to Phoenix and like meet people, and I love when people show their pictures of their little girls on our group, see them growing. That's
cool. That's the best part that I love. That I can just, as soon as I can look at the page, I can see some beautiful product, and it inspires everybody to keep going because they want to be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good to see everyone's product growing. And then even though, I can't wait to see some of their end product, like their colas and everything. And knowing that, we help make those seeds and they're just all over the place now.
I would be crying every time I look at the page. It was like, look at all of our babies.
But yeah, we're going to be expanding on a lot of new things in the next few months here. So I'm hoping that, and input from people, give us some ideas, because I even had an idea of, I don't know, I'm pretty passionate about it. I like to donate to charities.
Mm-hmm.
So, if people want to I don't know if I want to do this yet, but if people want to donate like a $1 with their order, we can make a pool where we want to donate to a charity, to like a dog rescue, or for a cancer center in, in the city or center, or children's center. Those are things I like to donate, because you know what? That's a positive thing, and
Right,
positive
yeah.
things go a long way.
Long way, yep. That's
So
cool.
I mean, those are just, if me personally, I would mind making like edible cookies and going to a cancer center and like passing them around,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, those are things that those people could really use.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have someone in their 60s who is in so much pain. They're not there to, they're not able to grow. They don't have no resources to go get, edibles. Someone
Yeah,
like
and
me would gladly do
in
that.
these lines, because there's always a line, and because of COVID too, but you see more and more older adults in line now. It's not just like the young people, because that you're gonna see young people as soon as they turn of age, they're gonna be in that line. But when you see somebody that's like your grandfather's age, going in there, I'm like, okay, they're one of us. We're all the same, everybody in some way everybody approves,
Right.
and I don't know what happened back in the day before I was born, when they deemed it horrible, but as long as they can see now that it needs to be here, and it's a good thing out of it.
We were actually in Vegas last year during the COVID. And we went to one of the dispensaries as soon as we got off the plane. And there was a gentleman ahead of us. He had to been in his 60s or 70s in there buying. I mean, he was buying product. I can't remember what it was, but the guy, one of the guys from the dispensary goes, well, here's a free joint. And he's like, no, I don't smoke. He goes, take it, it's free. He goes, give it to your son, give it to your neighbor, give it to somebody. He goes, give it to somebody, it's free, it's on
Right,
me.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you don't turn down anything free like that.
Exactly, especially in here.
But I mean, that's nice to see somebody in that age bracket's going in there and buying from the dispensary. I think he was buying vape in a liquid form or whatever for himself. But I mean, in just seeing like people who have Parkinson's, seizures, how that can be a lot better than medication. So I just think it's too expensive, even in these medical dispensaries. It's outrageous. There's
Yeah,
no
they
need for it.
get it.
It's fine to
They know
tax.
they can, and they will, and they know the people are going to keep coming.
Unfortunately, yeah. And
Unfortunately, yeah.
I have a friend in Oklahoma that she drove 3 hours to a dispensary to get something for herself with her medical card, and she spent over $500. I'm like, she didn't get much. And I'm like, how can you
When I went
afford
there, I
this?
didn't get much. That's what I want to say. But you know what? I don't know what people are doing these days to get all the money they're getting, and it's just like, but I would rather just like take the time to grow and watch it grow, and when that comes in the next, because I have a clone growing, and then I have some new plants I just started. Like, I'm gonna look forward to that. I'm gonna experiment. Then I know it's gonna give me confidence for my next grow and my next grow. And hopefully in the next 10 years, everybody can just start selling teens, clones, everything and it can be like on the side of the road. Come get your teen plants, or at nurseries, that's a good thing. And hopefully here in Arizona, they're trying to get the food before even past everything. They're trying to get the food scene with all the chefs would come together and throw pop-up dinners with cannabis. Like, everything has some type of something in it. And I'm like, I want to go to these events.
Yeah, I was wanting to come to the Earl Cup, but it wouldn't really benefit me at this moment right now. Hopefully in the next year it would.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm hoping next year we'll be able to attend that. I mean, it was another one like later this year, but
Yeah.
this one the end of this month, which would be great for you to attend. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
but
let me cut this short. I would say one thing, because it's coming up. I don't know if I'm going to post this before 420, or I might post it on 420. You never know. But I would say happy 420 to both of you guys. It was a nice meeting both of you guys as well. I'll be putting this on Facebook site so everybody can know and at least see, and I know they'd be happy to hear everything that we talked about on the page.
That would be awesome if you posted in our group. That would be absolutely. I mean, when you asked us, I was like, I was honored.
I was
excited. You have
honored when
no
you guys
clue.
said yes.
I was like, ooh, guess what?
But I appreciate you guys so much, and it was nice meeting you guys.
And nice meeting you too,
And
Derek.
you guys have a good rest of your day as well.
You too.
Thank
I
you.
will.
Bye bye.
No problem.